Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to the Demon Souls livestream series. It is currently the 35th part for my series, and today we are going to be doing a new build. Obviously you know what the build is, because it is actually mentioned in the title of the video, but for the sake of professionalism I will mention what it is. It is the Ostrava Build. Now what does that constitute, Doomlink? Well, it's essentially going to be us running the full Fluted Knight set, using the Rune Sword and Rune Shield, and I'm probably going to slap in there a crossbow, because I have arbitrarily decided that Prince Ariona Allant probably has a crossbow. I don't think he does, but I'm just going to say that he probably does, so that it works with this build. The reason why I'm doing that is just to add a little bit of, I guess, spice to the build itself, because keeping in mind, this is going to be strictly Rune Sword, Rune Shield, Fluted Knight set, because that is what Ostrava of Boletaria uses. But if I add a crossbow in there, I don't think that that's going to be immersion breaking or anything like that. It's not like, you know, Ostrava of Boletaria pulling out a fucking what would be something really dumb, like a Moonlight Greatsword. Like, that's not happening. Or then again, it's called the Large Sword of Moonlight in this game. But anyway, I'm going to get my chats up momentarily. I will mention that there may be some sort of residual effects of, or rather, you might hear some sort of residual sickness sounding sort of thing with me. I might look at a little bit, and oh, I need to mute my laptop one moment. Come on, you can do it, baby. Here we go. But yeah, so I had 4 beers last night, and I have a feeling that I actually have a certain allergy to beer. Perhaps not all beer, but at the very least that specific one, and I'd say a huge number of them in general based on that. And because it was causing me to, like, after having those 4 beers, I was sneezing like you wouldn't believe. My nose was running, my eyes were red, and it was just crazy. Now, I generally have floral allergies, and that's it. And then I looked at the bottle in terms of, like, what's in the beer itself, and it said barley malt. Now, I could be allergic to barley malt. That's possible. Now, I've never had a problem just having a few beers, but maybe if I have a number of them, it has a weird effect on me, where I'm constantly sneezing and all of this business. So I may just test that out again. I might see if I have the same effect. Now, some of you would say, why the hell would you choose to experience that, Doomlink? That doesn't sound very pleasant. Well, that's true, but unfortunately, you just don't know these things until you really make sure, so I will be trying that again. Perhaps not this week, but soon. But yeah, there are some remaining effects of that allergic reaction, we'll call it. So I apologise if that's evident at all. So I've got my chats up now. I apologise for needing to take some time to do that, but fortunately I was able to talk while doing that. Now, I'm going to just shift my TV, because I shifted it in a different position so that I could record Skyward Sword yesterday, so just one moment. Yeah, I'm much better now than I was, like, as I was going to sleep, and the hour or two before that point, it was just insane. I was sneezing harder than I ever have, really. I mean, I've probably sneezed that hard before, but it was like constant sneezing. My nose was just a fountain, and it was, yeah, not great. So, something absolutely did not agree with me with those beers. What's going on? How long are you going to take to log into the Demon Souls server? This is the Atlus version. I haven't actually played the Atlus version since before the servers went down, so I don't know what they're doing here. There are no servers to log into Atlus version. Could you please not do this? Cannot connect to the Demon Souls server. Do I really have to do this every single time I log into the game? This is ridiculous. In no other version does it need to do this. In all the other versions, it just immediately gives me a PlayStation pop-up, much like this. It'll be sort of like that, I guess, semi-transparent white screen that'll just say that there was a failed connection or something like that. But here I have to sit at this screen for the best part of maybe 30 seconds waiting for it to tell me that. That's really stupid. So Atlus version, maybe not the better version with the servers down, but I suppose if you're connecting to the VPN you may want to run the Atlus version, the VPN being the custom servers, or the fan-made servers, whatever you want to call them. Start the game in offline mode, yes, thank you. I'm pretty sure the brightness is fine, or maybe not. Let's raise it slightly. So basically what they want is for you to not be able to see the dragon, which is bullshit, because if you do that, you won't be able to see anything in the actual dark environments. This is one thing about the Souls series that has always bothered me. The ideal brightness settings for them are just not ideal for anyone. Not you as the player, and not you as the viewer. So, yeah, is this too bright? No, that's... look at that, guys. That's not bright at all. So let's just set it to that. That's probably what I had at all the other time. So this is the first time I've actually run this disc on this profile, so therefore it's giving me all these options to set stuff. Now camera speed 5, I have never had it not be at 5, so we're definitely not going to touch that, otherwise I'll be really confused. Show blood, I didn't even know I could turn that off. All of this is fine. Alright, let's enter a name. We're going to call him Ariona. How come I can't connect? What do you mean? There are no servers, Psychotics. The servers have been gone since the end of last year, I believe. Or perhaps it was mid to late last year, I can't remember. So, yeah, they've been gone for more than a year now. If I could find that would be phenomenal. Ariona. Of course, this is Ostrava of Boletaria's actual name. He is Prince Ariona Alant. And I suppose he has a title, which is Ostrava of Boletaria. But anyway, I'm going to call him this. Of course, he will be male. We are going to select Knight, because this is his outfit. Again, he will be using the Rune Sword and Shield, and we will be picking that up from a drop in 3.2, in fact. So we're not actually going to push to World 1.4 early, which I thought we might do. In actual fact, there is a place for us to pick up the Rune Sword and Shield fairly early on. At the very least, it will be easier for us to do that than go to 1.4 and kill his Black Phantom earlier on. Okay, so how do we think Ostrava looks? Maybe something like that, of course with a different hairstyle. What would be Ostrava's hairstyle? Keep in mind he's a prince, so maybe something well groomed, or bald, that's another option. Now what would suit him? Maybe this would suit him, yeah. His hair is probably blonde, we can guess that. Am I happy with this face? Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy with how this guy looks. Let's go with this. I mean, maybe we could do eye color if there is something that specific. Eyes, eye color. Here we go. Well, that's really creepy. Look at that. I don't know how I feel about that. Now, I'm in the way of him, sort of, but you can see him above me anyway, so... That's really disturbing. His eyes are like, ugh. I'm actually going to keep it like this. This is why he wears a helmet, so you don't see his creepy eyes. Alrighty, so this is Ostrava of Boletaria, Prince Ariona Alant. And that is the build that we will be running. Updating save data, yeah thanks. Why does everything take so fucking long with this stupid disc? Maybe that was a first time connection, or a first time attempt at connecting to the server, so it took longer. I didn't really consider that to be a possibility, but anyway. We're going to skip this, and because we have we've never actually run this disc on this profile before, so for that reason, we will have no choice but to go through the journey through the Nexus, or journey to the Nexus, whatever they call it, I don't even know. But anyway, in terms of the stats here, oh yeah, I need to make sure that the game volume's not too loud. We're going to set it to about that. That will be a little less offensive, I think. But anyway, in In terms of the stats that we're going to be focusing on in this build, they will be strength and dexterity. We're going to definitely capitalize on strength because it will be a D scaling in strength with the Rune sword. It does some magic damage as well. The scalings are terrible. It's D and E. Strength being D and dexterity being E. And yeah, it's kind of not great. So I just noticed that I'm kind of playing really badly because I actually had no desire to shield when I was attacking them before. So that kind of means that I need to get myself together. But anyway, what we will be doing is... Well, I wonder if we want to go immediately from 1-1 to 3-1. That's a thought. We could do that. And it might be doable because to start with, using the Fluted Knight set we do have a lot of defense. I think this is the highest starting defense of any of the actual sets that we can equip. Because the Fluted Knight set is only beaten in defense, as far as I'm aware, by the Brushwood set. So, yeah. We probably more or less have a pretty good head start, both damage-wise and defense-wise. So we might be able to take on 3-1 fairly early on. Still not entirely sure how I feel about the attack. I mean, if we upgrade the Longsword a little bit, that might be doable. In fact, let's do that because we don't have a problem with wasting materials unnecessarily at any point, because the only... actually, we will get a crossbow, probably a heavy crossbow, given the armor set that we'll be using. And I will probably use hardstone to level that up. Now, I'm pretty sure the longsword requires hardstone, so we're going to be using some basic level hardstone on the longsword to level it up, which we could otherwise use for the crossbow, but that's alright. We're just going to do that, and we're going to have it so that the actual... Oh wow, the lighting's actually a lot more appropriate here, I have to say. I must have made some sort of change to it, I don't know. But regardless. I think the day is going to get much brighter outside. I will also mention it's going to be super hot today. It's already feeling like it's really hot. You know when there's a super hot day coming and you can really feel it? Like if it's not even 10 in the morning yet, and you can really feel the heat cranking, you know it's going to be hell between midday and 2 or 3. So, yeah, not really looking forward to that. It's supposed to get as high as 36 Celsius in Sydney today, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. In different parts of the country it's supposed to reach as high as 50, so yeah. And in various places there will be records being set on this day. And if they're not set today, they will be set on Saturday, in 2 days' time. But anyway, I got a little bit off topic. What was I talking about before? I was talking about upgrading the Longsword. So we're going to upgrade that to maybe +3 or 4, depending on what's easiest for us to do. Whatever will not inconvenience us. And then we will take on World 3-1. Now with that in mind, it might be best for us to actually take on World 1-2 as well, not just for the souls, but also for the materials. Or not just for the materials, but also for the souls, because that's the primary reason why I was thinking of actually going through 1-2, because you do have those enemies at the start of 1-2, which do have a chance of dropping hardstone and sharpstone, so that would be useful. But as well as that, we can get more souls so that we can access World 2-1 and just buy the materials that we need. At least some of the materials we need. Because of course the Filthy Man in 2-1 only sells the most basic ore. But anyway. Let's head on through. It does take a little bit of time to play Journey Through the Nexus, and I may actually try to kill the, what's he called again? It's not the Grey Demon, it's the Vanguard, that's right. So he has the Grey Demon Soul, that's what his Demon Soul is called. But yeah, this will mark the first time that I've killed the Vanguard at the start on camera, which would be good. Now, if as well as that, I can actually kill fucking... what's her name? Can't think of it now. What's her fucking name? No, normally I would think of it. Executioner router, there we go. I think it's because I decided not to think at that time. Now this is why I'm able to find him, because he is not doing enough damage to kill me at this stage. But you see I'm playing so awfully that in actual fact I can't do this. I don't know what's going on today. To be fair, I am in really poor form, just overall. Like, I'm not feeling that great. Still getting over the effects of last night. And yeah, I'm not really invested in what I'm doing in the game right now, so I'm just going to pass that off as me not being in good form, so that's alright. In fact, that has to be the case because I've been playing like complete shit from the beginning. Yes, I have died indeed, you are quite correct. So we just got Nextual Binding. That is not going to be useful at all, really, because I don't want to lose my souls at any point. But occasionally I do make use of it to do things like grind things. Sometimes it's easier to grind when using the Nextual Binding, and if whatever I'm killing repeatedly doesn't actually give me many souls, then it's not really a problem to lose them. But anyway, we will first and foremost obviously take on World 1-1. Let's do that right now. I don't think there's anything we can really do before this point, so yeah, let's just go. Now, I normally would have just gone and skipped Journey to the Nexus, but I had no choice. This is the first time we have done, and this is the guy we're going to be dressing as. It's a really weird perspective here because he looks like a giant. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, what I was going to say was that I have no choice but to do Journey Through the Nexus, given that this is the first time that I've run the Atlus version of this game. So yeah. Tough. So this is going to be pretty easy, obviously. I'll just go through the motions. This is sort of like a continuation of Journey to the Nexus. It's not too difficult, but I will mention that the enemies are a little bit more aggressive here as compared to Journey to the Nexus, because Journey to the Nexus is intended to be a tutorial. This is just... Okay, it says reconnection successful. Well, that's lovely. If you could actually show me my bitrate. Okay, so it's back. Sorry for that, guys. I don't know what happened. I blame OBS. But I did have a short disconnect there. I have got no idea what was cut out, but anyway. It lasted only 30 seconds, so that's a good thing. Again, not related to my internet, related to OBS being retarded, apparently. So, yeah. I will make it a point to kill all of the enemies here, and I will go and get the Clink Ring, because in my previous build, for some reason, I chose not to get the Clink Ring. I still don't know why. But, yeah, that obviously wasn't a smart decision, because I was going through this area really fast at that time, and for some reason I did not factor in getting the Clink Ring into my getting through the area quickly equation, so it was not picked up. And that was a really stupid way to explain what I was wanting to explain, but it doesn't matter. You get what I mean. Okay. I don't know how much charge my controller has. I had plugged it in for about 15 minutes from being dead, so hopefully it lasts the entirety of this recording. You know, I have to say, this is just something that I'm going to say, and whether or not you find it interesting is up to you. But it really shocks me that there were so many people who preferred Xbox to PlayStation 3 back in the day. If you know or if you experience the Xbox versus PlayStation wars of the second generation of those consoles, I never experienced any, well, second generation of them. That wasn't, so it was the third generation for the PlayStation, second generation for the Xbox, but essentially, there were certain things about the Xbox that were just so terrible that they were not actually acceptable at all. And yet everyone went for the Xbox because it was more user-friendly in terms of the interface, and it was prettier as well. The user interface was a lot nicer on the Xbox, that much cannot be denied. But the reality was that there were certain things about the Xbox that were just ridiculous. So you had the disc tray scratching discs if you tilted the thing while the disc was in and running. Now that's ridiculous, and that was something that they never fixed, which is not acceptable. The fact that they never fixed that is unbelievable, in fact. Now, you'd think it would just be something that they did earlier on, because one of the things with the Xbox was that it was rushed out the door initially to compete with the PlayStation 3. And so that was one of the things they skipped out on. And yet they never fixed it. Why, I have no fucking idea. Maybe it's a nice feature that they wanted implemented in reality. I of course say that sarcastically, no one would be that stupid. Now, as well as that, you had, and this is a huge one, if you didn't have a wired controller, like if you wanted to have a wireless controller, you needed to have batteries, okay? Now this is insane. Why is it that the PlayStation 3 was able to just simply have your controller connected to the console to charge it? That was pretty simple, wasn't it? You didn't have to like run through so many batteries. I mean, it was so archaic, really, for the Xbox 360 to force you to use batteries to have a wireless experience. It was so stupid. It's like, how is that in any way acceptable, and why does no one have a problem with this? I mean, people had a problem with it, but they just lived with it. It was just a thing that happened. But anyway, those were two really ridiculous things about the console. And I did end up getting a Xbox 360, I think 2 years after I had gotten a PlayStation 3. And it was just... I mean, there were certain things that I preferred about the Xbox 360 and certain things that I preferred about the PlayStation 3, but one thing that just couldn't be denied was the fact that PlayStation 3 was just a smoother, more modern console overall. But they could have done a better job with the software. That's what it is. The hardware was vastly superior on the PlayStation 3, but the software was better on the 360. I suppose you pick your poison, but anyway. That was just a weird observation. I never really understood why people put up with that shit. One of the things that people talked about was the controllers, and people said that the PS3 was better, I think. But people always talked about, also welcome milkshake, but people often compared the Xbox 360 controller to the PlayStation 3 controller and would say things like, the PlayStation 3 controller feels like a toy. Okay, well listen here. How does that make a fucking dent on any argument for the PlayStation 3 controller when in reality it does not need batteries and the D-pad isn't garbage? Like, those are two massive aspects to the 360 controller that were bad. It had a horrendous D-pad. It was just awful. And as well as that, it needed batteries to be used wirelessly. Like, what? The 360 controller was terrible, such that the only thing that it had going for it was the fact that it was heavy, okay? Time to get a grip, guys. Anyway, I shouldn't say time to get a grip, because this is a bit outdated at this point, but... yeah. I didn't have a problem with not being able to play Demon's Souls because I had a PS3. So, yeah. And this was one of the games that really prompted me to buy the PlayStation 3 as well, because I ended up buying this console later on in 2009. And when this game came out earlier on that year, I think it was maybe March or something, I really, really wanted to play it. But I was stupid, didn't do my research, and didn't realise that the version that I'm playing right now was coming out. So I went and bought the frickin' Asian version. The Chinese English version, more specifically. Which wasn't really a problem, but I don't think the community was flourishing quite as much. But anyway. Doing all this for the Kling Ring. But yeah, I did technically get the game before the Atlus version came out, but probably only like 3 weeks before. Such was the stupidity of the timing. But it's not the first time I've done that. Just not researching, like keeping up to date, you know. I'll establish an interest in something and then I won't update myself on what's going on with that. Happens quite often. Because I just get lost in whatever I'm doing during the year. And I don't think, oh yeah, time has passed, let's see if anything has changed with this. I just don't do that. I operate based on the information that I received, you know, several months ago. Sometimes a year ago, depending on what it is. But anyway. You've been enjoying Dragon's Dogma? It's funny, right around the time you got Dragon's Dogma, a friend of mine started recording it for the first time in a long time. Like, literally the same day, the day you told me that. My friend was... oh, I don't have the Thief's Ring on, I don't think. That's alright, this should still be fairly manageable. But yeah, he started recording it that same day. Really weird. But yeah, Dark Arisen, or Dragon's Dogma in general, I remember, I think it was in 2012. It's either 2011 or 2012 when I first was aware of it. Dark Arisen specifically, I think, came out in 2013, early 2013, because it was like, it's sort of like a special edition of Dragon's Dogma. But it was advertised to me as a rather similar game to Monster Hunter. And what I mean by that is that I was made aware of Dragon's Dogma's existence, by the Monster Hunter video podcast, Shepard, Christian, and Nick, back in whatever it would have been, 2011, 2012. And I thought it looked pretty cool, but I never ended up actually trying the game out. And then when one of the streamers that influenced me, there are two streamers that influenced me. He was a Soul streamer, he was Jerp Does Games. He was the one who was responsible for the backstabbing people with the Mask of the Child in Dark Souls. He had the Jarvis build. This is back in late 2011, 2012 sort of thing. And he was fucking great at the game, and I just loved what he used to do. I used to watch him before he was on camera. I kept watching when he was on camera, but I slowed down the frequency of my viewing. But he played Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen when it came out, and I thought, hey, this seems alright. So I went and bought it, and I just either I didn't have the time to really learn how to play it, or it just confused me really hard. But I just reached a point very early on in the game, probably in the first hour, where I just couldn't really progress. It was a point where they basically gave me free reign to continue through the world to somewhere, and the controls really confused me, and the game overall confused me, and I suppose I just didn't have the time to allocate to learning how to play it. So I gave it another try, like in 2015, I think it was. I played it for another hour, further than when I had stopped. And I don't know, it didn't really click with me. I'm not sure. I definitely wouldn't say anything negative about the game, because I haven't really given it enough of a chance to, I suppose, give it some feedback either way. But yeah, it just never clicked with me. I could give it another chance, but I don't think I would do it recent. Like, okay, let me put it in these terms. I have too much shit that I want to play, and too much shit that I want to record. Almost every single time I do a live stream, someone recommends me to play something. Now, if I followed all of those recommendations, I wouldn't be able to record anything, because I'd be too busy playing the games people recommended me to play. So, yeah, unfortunately I just don't have the ability to do that right now. I will probably play Dragon's Dogma soon, but, yeah. At the very least, I enjoyed watching Jerp Does Games play it. I don't even know if he's still live streaming. He may be, but I really enjoyed his stuff. The two streamers, it's funny, they sort of have a bit in common, even though I just gravitated towards them rather naturally without sort of intending on them being similar. They were Jerp Does Games and Zarek Zahakiron. Those were the two live streamers that I really connected with, but I stopped watching Zarek Zahakiron around the time he got that stupid, I don't even know what you would call it, that big border around his game, and he would be relegated to this tiny corner, and he'd look like this little orange thing. I really enjoyed his visual appearance, you know, wearing that suit, and he looked good, and then he turned into this tiny orange thing you couldn't really see, and it just bothered me, so I stopped watching. Which sounds like a very, very vain, very pathetic reason to stop watching, but I don't know. Let me go on this side where it's safer. You can try and pierce me if you'd like. It's fine. And yeah, those were the two streamers that, as far as live streaming were concerned, I guess, were my inspiration. I wouldn't go so far as to say they influenced me, because I already had an idea of what I would do as a live streamer based on what I had done through Let's Playing from before I had even found them. And yeah, so I already knew what I was going to do on that side of things. But in terms of just feeling like I wanted to do the same, that was sort of a result of having watched them, so yeah. Souls and Elder Scrolls, I suppose. And I do intend to, at some point, do a live stream series of Morrowind, but I don't know when that will happen. I've been playing Morrowind again recently, and it's really giving me the desire to record it, but I just don't think it has a place right now on my channel. It will at some point in time, but for now it just wouldn't work, because I've got too much stuff that I'm trying to do at the moment. It's one of the reasons why I've uploaded so much this week. It's because I'm trying to get on top of all the stuff that I want to do. So I'm not going to upload 7 or 8 times a week, because then people wouldn't watch stuff, but you have no hope for Elder Scrolls 6, neither do I. I mean, you have to look at it sensibly, like, what direction has the Elder Scrolls series gone in? If Skyrim is not the end in terms of streamlining and going from an RPG to an action game, then what the hell are we going to get in... You fucking dickheads. I would have been perfectly fine there had you not fucked around and kept me in that one position. I was trying to run around them and it just didn't work at all. But anyway, I guess the spirits of Bethesda Softworks are after me, or ZeniMax Media. But the point is that, yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to be good. They're going to change things, as they've always done with every single Elder Scrolls release. But if you just, it's a clear pattern. It's a clear direction that they're going in, and Skyrim was seriously borderline. It was like, okay, if you streamline this anymore, this is going to be complete trash. It's not going to be worth playing, it's not going to be worth even looking at. So I think that's what Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be. And I think everyone with a clue feels the same way. So yeah. Need to finish building your vampire army in Skyrim. You know, I'd like to record Skyrim, but I will never. I mean, I have done, but I never saw it through to the end or anything like that, because that would be a lot to record. But the reality is that recording Skyrim is probably one of the most unoriginal things you could possibly do on a YouTube channel or on a Twitch channel. So yeah, I will never do that. I'll do Morrowind or Daggerfall, but I would never do Skyrim. It's just too overdone, and I would just get nothing out of it personally. I would get something out of it, but it just wouldn't feel good. It would feel weird and stupid for me to do Skyrim, so I won't. But, yeah. A maximum of 100 videos. Yeah, it wouldn't be that. It would be like 1,000. But anyway. Regardless, I won't be doing Skyrim. Won't happen. I'm pretty pissed off that I died back there. But anyway, not much I can do about it. Can only continue. Can only continue. Am I going a long way or what? I don't know what I'm doing. Now, it would have been faster had I gone a different way there. But anyway. So these guys need to be killed, otherwise Ostrava will have some problems. Now, of course, I can't kill Ostrava here and get his sword and shield. The only time he drops it is in his Black Phantom form. And we're not even going to be getting it from that guy. We'll be picking it up in World 3-2, because that will be easier. Oof. Could see that coming. Stop it. Dickhead. Where's Ostrava? He's not helping me out. Get him! That was surprisingly low damage with that last hit. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Elder Scrolls. I probably wouldn't even do a recording series of Oblivion, really. Because I think Oblivion is starting to cross over into, like, unoriginal territory. But I think there's a certain... I absolutely love Morrowind. Morrowind has such a great feeling about it. It's so authentic. It's really, like... It's got such a personality to me. Whereas... Skyrim just has no personality. It just feels so dead and... non-emotional. It's just not pleasant. I mean, I enjoy it to play, but when you put it in context with the rest of the series, it's just kind of nothing. It just feels like a very sad game. I don't know. For me, Oblivion felt very personal. It felt like you were looked after in a strange way. I mean, it's hard to explain, but the way all of the NPCs communicated with you, you felt the game was very it's like the game cherished you. That's the feeling that I got from Oblivion. It was weird. It was all very gentle. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but if you really pay attention to the way all the characters communicate with you, it feels that way. But anyway. Yeah, I don't really care what they do in Elder Scrolls 6. I don't even know where it's going to be. Valenwood, High Rock. Probably one of those two. I think everyone's hoping for High Rock, but maybe Valenwood. Of course, it won't be Black Marsh because, I mean, we did see that stupid sneak peek. I mean, I can't get over the fact that they... Well, I don't know what I can't get over. The fact that they wasted their time doing that little reveal thing for Elder Scrolls 6, or the fact that people got excited about it. It's like, okay, guys, let's be real. There was no way in hell they were not working on Elder Scrolls 6. Obviously they were. This is the longest period of time between Elder Scrolls games that has existed in the entirety of the series. Like, the entire history of the series has not had such a great gap between the games. Of course, they're working on Elder Scrolls 6. And there's nothing exciting about seeing some fucking landscape that could have been done in a Skyrim mod. And then some text appearing on the screen saying Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, how boring. Just, everyone relax and let them make the game. It's just really funny to see everyone excited about that. Like, anyway, is the dragon coming or not? I'm not going to get killed by it again, it's ridiculous. Here it is. So, we're going to let it come. Alright, he's doing his animation, that's what we want. I don't care for Elden Ring. Obviously, because I never played Sekiro. And I don't plan on playing it. But anyway... Let's try and not get hit by this fucking dragon. Okay, good. I ended up wasting quite a bit of my time, but anyway. I was not alive when I died, so I don't have to worry about affecting my world tendency or anything like that. Fortunately. But yeah, eventually I will do a live stream series of Morrowind. The first build that I plan on doing is a marksman build, so... that shall be what I do. It'll be pretty much purely marksman, either crossbow or bow, and I may switch to two-handed if I feel the need to. Like two-handed long blade, or two-handed axe. But, yeah. See how that goes. That will be for the future, indeed. Sekiro won Game of the Year. Well, I'm not surprised. It is, like, anything from those guys is good. Like, compared to other games, it's just on another level. So I suppose it was only a matter of time before the mainstream started to catch on to that. You know, anything that's really, really good that's better than everything else that the mainstream's interested in, eventually the mainstream will realise, oh wait, this is good. And they'll start taking interest in it. But yeah. I'm just, I I plan to play Neo first. Don't know when... Oh no, are you kidding me? How much time am I going to waste in this fucking area? I can't believe it. What is going on today? I can't believe that I've died twice in this fucking area. You've got to be having a laugh. Not to mention the fact that it was right before I could link them up like that. But it doesn't matter. We're at the point now where we have opened up the boss area, so we're just going to forget that shit. We'll go fight the boss, and that's it. I picked up Turpentine, didn't I? I think so. Ugh. But yeah, anyway. And I'll need to put in... I'll put some time into Daggerfall soon as well. It's been a long time since I last played. I think it would smack me sideways if I tried to play it today, but... yeah. May do a live stream recording series of that in 10 years. Imagine how outdated it would look by that time. Why did I just use my Turpentine? Well, let's hurry up and get in the boss room. But yeah, by the time I end up playing Daggerfall, that's going to look so ancient. If it doesn't already. Whereas Morrowind, I think, has aged very nicely. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, people who are interested in Skywind and Skyblivion, all those people need to get a fucking grip, in my opinion. Like, you either care about the series or you don't. If you care about the series, you play the games in their original format. Like, with all of the quirks and all of the stuff from the original game. In fact, that's what makes it special for me. Each game has its own identity, right? Now, if you start doing Skywind and Skyblivion, what ends up happening is that everything is Skyrim. Who wants that? I don't want Skyrim times 5. Skyrim forever, you know. I don't want that. I seriously don't want that. I want each Elder Scrolls game to be individual, which is what they are. But then when people want Skywind, they're going to play Morrowind but in the Skyrim engine. I'm thinking, hey, have you not played enough Skyrim? Like, really? Have you not? I think it's mostly people who started in Skyrim and just cannot handle something different to that. Which, I mean, are there really people out there who can't handle a slightly different Elder Scrolls experience? I don't really get it, but anyway. Because for me, when I play a game like Morrowind, everything about the interface just feels so... I mean, I love it. The sound that is made when you make a selection, that crisp sound, the way the game looks, the font, it's all quite small and it's all got this real old look to it. Just the way it's all designed. It's sort of like, you know, old parchment paper sort of thing. And the color scheme, it's all so mwah, it's perfect. Now, if you play fucking Skywind, you're not going to get any of that. None of that special stuff that makes Morrowind Morrowind. Are they going to have a journal system? Probably not. You know, like, why do I want to play fucking Skyrim, but in Vardenfell? Like, that's retarded. I've no desire to do that. But that's just my opinion. I suppose everyone's got their own opinion, and I certainly won't knock all of the effort that people put into those mods, because it is an incredible amount of effort, but seriously, like... Yeah, I'm sure if someone who is working on those mods was listening to me say this, they would not appreciate it at all, and I certainly don't intend for it to come across that way, but not as a modder, but as a player of video games, I find things like Skyblivion and Skywind to be a fucking insult, so, yeah, and a waste of time. But power to the people who work on them as projects, because it is a lot of work. And they do a good job as well, like, it's not like they do a shit job. It's very good work. It's just the concept itself sucks. It's like, oh, you've already played a few thousand hours of Skyrim? Hey, how about you play a few thousand more? but with new content. There's a point where you just get sick of the Skyrim interface, where you get sick of the engine, where you get sick of all of it. Right. But anyway. So. We're at the point now where we can probably upgrade our sword a little bit. We picked up some shards of hardstone, not many. Let's go and consume the lead demon soul. We're not going to need that. We're not going to need any of this stuff, really. We may... Well, what's our magic looking like? We're probably going to use some range magic to kill the flame lurker at some point. And our magic is looking good, so we don't have to put any points into that. So that's a good thing. I'm just going to put my souls in here. And yeah. And some guy on Twitch just be like, wait, what the fuck? How come you can't connect? In other words, why can't I connect to the servers? And then he doesn't say anything else after that. Now, why did you even bother typing in the first place? Just go somewhere else. If you're going to leave that quickly. Not even communicate beyond that. It's like, yeah, the servers don't exist, guy. Anyway. So, yeah. I mentioned it before, it's going to be a really hot day today, and it's becoming increasingly more and more uncomfortable to just sit here and play video games because of the slowly raising temperature. A Storm Ruler mod for Skyrim, that sounds crazy. So we're going to be focusing mostly on strength, vitality, and endurance. We will be putting some points into dexterity, but not many. We're probably only going to put as many points into dexterity as we need for... Actually, what are the stat requirements for those weapons? That's a good point. So, stat requirements are... Oh. That's unexpected. So we require... Is that right? We require 18 magic to use the rune sword. Okay. What about the rune shield? Shit. I'm glad I checked this. Viva la Demon Souls Wikidot. Yep, same for the rune shield. So what we're going to do is just get magic to 18. Or attempt to. So it's going to be very important that we take on World 1 too, I think. We don't have many souls left. In fact, we don't really have any at all. So, yeah. I'm jealous of your cold weather, Milkshake. But I understand you're in the northern hemisphere, so it will be cold. But here, no, we are coming into summer. And it's going to be a terrible summer. Half of my state has been on fire for 2 months. Well, not 2 months quite. More like a month and a half. So, yeah. We haven't even gotten into the hottest part of summer yet. Not even close. So, yeah, I think we're all going to die. But anyway, aside from that, the biggest concern actually is the smoke. And I think the smoke, was it last Tuesday? I think it was last Tuesday. The smoke was so bad that even the rest of the world was like, wait, hold on, what the fuck's going on in Sydney? You had those funny before and after pictures of Sydney City, where a normal day is perfectly visible and then like that Tuesday was just white or grey, whatever you want to say. You couldn't see anything, long story short, it was terrible. Air pollution index, if you understand those numbers, API, it was at over 2,000. And I remember I was making jokes with my friends about how New Delhi was hitting 900. And we're like, ha ha ha, imagine living in that shithole, and then we're hitting 2,000. I'm like, okay, maybe that's my bad karma. But anyway. So, that's how it goes. I hate these guys. These ones in particular, because they don't show me their backs. They don't show me their weak points, so I hate them. Of course they're not going to just say, here, attack me in my weak point. They have the desire to survive as well. But anyway, What was I saying? Yeah, crazy smoke in Sydney. The biggest concern about that, I mean, there are certain health concerns with the smoke and breathing it in and all of that, but I think the worst is it getting into our drinking water. Because, you know, obviously our drinking water comes from several dams around the area. Now, if stuff starts to settle on the water of those dams and it just turns undrinkable, all of a sudden we don't have fucking drinking water. That's pretty bad, isn't it? So, yeah, you turn on the tap and it'll be yellow or something. That's disgusting. So, that's probably the biggest concern for me. But, I don't know if anyone else is concerned about that. They're probably too busy worrying about having to wash their car every second day. But, yeah. Yeah, purify it. I'd say there's only so much you can purify. Like, if the water's yellow, like, I don't know. Put muddy water in a purifier, see what happens. It's probably still going to be a bit disgusting, but point is that it shouldn't affect me too much, but yeah. We use water purifiers anyway, but yeah. I'm just killing all these enemies to make sure that I'm getting as many souls as I can, because I think I'm going to need them. Running out of stamina. I think there's a light crossbow that's being dropped here, so let's have a look and see what we've got. Wooden catalyst, sorry, I'm stupid. I'm pretty sure there's a crossbow around here somewhere. It will be a light crossbow, I'm quite sure. But anyway. Some more crescent moon grass. Heal ourselves up. Come on. Don't be shy, Mr. Dragon. I need you to come before I can go, you see. Alrighty. Now, once you're past this point, you're safe, so... Picking up that item wasn't too risky. These guys, I'm just going to mash them. Or stab them, that works too, I suppose, but... For the most part, just going to mash them. But yeah, the longsword is a reasonably damaging weapon. It attacks quite fast for the early game. What I mean is it's quite damaging for the early game. It attacks quite fast and it has decent damage, so yeah. Come on. So this is the crossbow, I'm pretty sure. Never mind. Maybe I need to await my memory. Maybe it's terrible. Anyway, so I will get a crossbow at some point. We'll see. I will try to have it be a heavy crossbow. I might be able to buy one from the Dregling Merchant, actually, but... I don't know if I want to go all the way to the Dregling Merchant to see if he sells it. I suppose I will. Yeah, let's go and have a look. Just gonna kill this guy and then we'll go to the Dregling Merchant and have a peek at his wares. Actually, I wouldn't be able to buy it. I only have 800 souls, so forget it. I'm not going to spend all the time going to the... Actually, let's... This is annoying, but I'm going to go to the Dregling Merchant just to see if he sells it, and then I can... I hate it when the dogs come up. Very occasionally, it does not happen often. Actually, that's what it is. I haven't equipped the Thief's Ring. I'm an idiot. The only time this happens is if you don't have the Thief's Ring on. This is how much harder the game is. The dogs from down below the tower can actually come after you. No, 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 no. Thief's Ring, go. I'm being an idiot. Okay, so... This is what the game's like when you don't have the Thief's Ring on. It's just ridiculous. You've got the dogs coming up like this, and... You're honestly so far away that it makes no sense, but... Apparently... Oh my god, just relax, please. Guys. Keep bouncing off the walls. This is quite annoying. Okay, there you go. Look at all these dead dogs. One, two... Oh, never mind. There's one that's not dead. So what have we got here? We've got 2, 3... Is that 5 dead dogs? That's just ridiculous. Imagine being attacked by 5 dogs before you've even gone down here. This is how far they have travelled. They should be down here, right? But instead, they went all the way up there to attack me. That's insane. What were they thinking? Oh, I guess they were thinking that I was an intruder, but anyway. Straggling merchant is here. See what he has to say, or what he has to sell. He does sell a light crossbow, but he doesn't sell a heavy one. So there you go. I don't know what you mean by those burgers in your pocket. What does that mean? Oh. Well, I suppose, yeah, so they're after my food, but incidentally, I don't have burgers. I have grass. I'm a cow. My sustenance is from eating grass, I suppose. Alrighty. So, it's good that I have the Thief's Ring on now, because that would have really made things difficult at this part of the game. I'm going to mash these guys because they're going to make things a lot harder if I don't kill them. Now this guy here is going to be a little bit tricky. There we go. Very annoying that I can't one-shot him, but that's alright. Should be able to attack him there like this. Here we go. Very good. Now, had I upgraded my sword, I would have been able to one-shot him probably, but I didn't have any money to do that, so I couldn't, sadly. Let's go and get a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, just up here. I'm actually getting myself in the habit of saying ephemeral, because I was saying, I think in the last recording that I did, that I was in a bad habit of saying ephemeral instead of ephemeral, but it seems that I'm actually fixing my habit now after having addressed it verbally. I'd been thinking about it for a long time, but once you address things verbally, sometimes it can make a difference mentally. So now I'm saying ephemeral like a good human being. Just running on the spot to... Well, not running, but moving on the spot because I wanted to get my stamina back up. One of my repeat viewers, No More Inner Demons, went so far as to send me a Twitch message saying, "Where are you? I'm waiting for your next stream." Well, I just didn't happen to stream very much last week, or maybe the week before, but I said to him, well, I'm going to be streaming a lot this week, so, yeah. He still hasn't turned up, so maybe he's gone forever. But he enjoys Demon Souls, so if he was going to turn up at any point, he'd be turning up now. Or maybe not loyal, because he's not here. No, I don't really care. Just killing all these guys. They're all using light crossbows, sadly. Wonder who does sell a heavy crossbow. Maybe I will check the wiki to have a look and see who sells it. Do I want to save the money or the souls to buy it? I don't know. Maybe it would be easier to pick it up from an enemy that I kill. We'll have a look and see anyway. I sort of combined anyway and either way into one word, but that's a thing that I do. Stop rolling around. This is not my intention. Why do you have to unsub and resub? To get fucking notifications. I swear YouTube is completely useless. Ugh. You're probably one of the few people to take the time to do that, so I appreciate that, milkshake. Fucking YouTube, man. Of course, everything that YouTube has been doing recently is just essentially begging us to find an alternative to YouTube, but I don't know when that will happen. Hopefully next decade, and not the decade after. I have absolutely no... what's the word? I have no loyalty to YouTube. As soon as something that is actually better than YouTube comes along and people start moving over to it, I'm going there too. Like, fuck it. I don't care. Because the reality is that nothing lasts forever. There are certain things that just become obsolete and no one uses them anymore. That's just how it is. YouTube has to be the same one day. There are only so many people who can compete with YouTube. So, I think it will end up being Microsoft. If Microsoft can get something together, then maybe then it will work, but anyway. Well, Twitch is not a substitute. Twitch is not intended to be a, whatever it's called, video sharing site. It's a live streaming site. They don't want you to archive your videos on their site. They're not interested in that. And I'm not interested in not archiving my videos for people to watch after the fact. So Twitch is absolutely not a replacement for YouTube. And Twitch fucking sucks anyway, so yeah. I only use Twitch because of the exposure, no other reason. Twitch fucking sucks. But yeah. The reason why is because as soon as they have the power to just do whatever they want, because people will stay anyway, that's when a place just, or a service or anything just becomes crap. Because they don't have an incentive to not be complete idiots. So, that's how it goes. And I thought I made a Mixer account earlier this year, but I don't think I did. I was meaning to at the very least, because I was looking at different services to multi-stream to, but yeah. I think I ended up making a fucking D-Live account, if you can fucking believe that. Streamed to it once, I think. That was weird, because it was so, like, it was so incredibly focused on making money that it grossed me out, so I was like, nah, get me out of here. It's like, imagine making videos for fun. Imagine that. But anyway. We'll see what happens in the future. Microsoft might make some sort of platform, and hey, I'm no Microsoft fan, that much needs to be made very clear, probably. Otherwise people will misunderstand what I mean. But who else can compete with Google? Anyway. Money wins the day, unfortunately. See, even Google, with all their money, are absolute slaves to advertisers. I suppose that's why Google has a lot of money, because they know what to do as a business, but if Google's a fucking slave to advertisers, imagine people who have less money than Google. It would be even worse. So at the end, money means everything in this situation. It's very annoying, but it's true. Why are you still alive? I really need to kill you. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, 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 no. Alright, so I think attacking his feet will kill him at this point. Doesn't happen all the time, but I'd say that will happen. Forget about Microsoft. Well, I don't know. There we go. I don't know. I'm not exactly, you know, banking on Microsoft. I'm just saying that they're probably the only company that could really compete with Google at this stage. Anyway. Cicadas are coming out. Sorry if you can hear them. I'm gonna go and check to see how to get a heavy crossbow. Whether it drops from certain enemies or if I can buy it. I'm sure both are the case, but I just need to see specifically where I can buy it and who drops it. Come on. Just waiting for the page to load. Here we go. Heavy crossbow. Oh yeah, the gargoyle crossbow. Now that would work for me. The gargoyle crossbow is terrible. It's one of those weapons that you never see because it's very hard to get. The gargoyle crossbow, I think I've gotten it once ever in 10 years of having played this game. It's just, it's so hard to get that it's not worth your time. It's very annoying. But anyway, heavy crossbow is a 3-1 treasure. Awesome, because that's where I'm going next. I don't know where it's going to be, but I suppose I can just go and pick up lots of stuff in 3.1 and hope that I eventually get it. So, yeah. Let's go and consume all this stuff. Oh yeah, how is our... Really? I was hoping that it would be pure white, but nah, no. Imagine being able to access Execution Meralda's area, that would be incredible. No, we really want to access Execution Meralda's area in this actual build, because we need a lot of colourless demon souls to fully upgrade the shield and the sword, so it's important that we do that, really. So, what we're going to do is, we'll check our materials. I'm going to put them away because they're probably weighing me down at this point. Hello, Stockpile Thomas. This is the first time I've talked to you in this run. That's why he had a lot to say. Going to upgrade the Longsword to +3, something like that. Need to buy some shards of hardstone first. I don't know how much we need. I'm going to buy 10. I'd say that's about what I need. Because I think it will be 4, then 6, in terms of what we need with the next upgrades, so hopefully I'm right about that. We will see. Anyway. Fortunately, the natural lighting has been under control, which is a little bit of a shock, to be honest, because usually it's just way too bright, but I'm on full natural lighting at the moment. I'm not having to drape anything over my curtains to make it darker, and it's looking perfectly fine, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's go and buy some hardstone, shall we? 10. Fortunately, I can buy a lot more than that, which means that I'm not wasting too many of my souls, but I am, you know, let's not say wasting, I'm not consuming or using too many of my souls. Wasting indicates that you're using it when you probably don't need to use it, but anyway. Let us go and upgrade a little further. I was right, actually, that it would be 4 and 6, but I did have 1 shard of hardstone that I didn't account for, so I actually could have just bought 9. So there you go. That was just a complete guess. I didn't remember that it would be 4 then 6. I just thought that it would make sense if that were the case. So that was pretty smart of me, I must say. Let's go and consume the Iron Demon Soul. We don't need that. Some extra souls, much needed. Alright, let's go and get magic to 18, and now we will focus a little bit. Let's have a look at some other stat requirements. So 10 for strength on the sword, and for the shields, what do we need? Probably about the same, is it? So we need, for some reason we need 12 strength for the shield and 10 for the sword. That doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. We've got 14 strength, so it doesn't matter. Let's focus on vitality for now. I think we'll need it for the boss. We'll get you to 15. And maybe we'll put a point into dexterity as well. There is no dexterity requirement for the sword and shield that we'll be getting in 3.2. So that's worth mentioning. Okay, I think we're good in terms of grass. We're good overall. Let's continue into 3.2. I will try to... how long have I been recording? Been going for an hour and 10 minutes about. So the plan is to maybe finish this around the time I get the Rune Sword and Shield. Needless to say, I will not be killing the man-eaters, like, when I take on 3.2. It's too early. I'm not strong enough to fight them yet, so... Just realised height and weight affect your stats in Dragon's Dogma. That's interesting. It makes sense for sure, but... yeah. If you're taller and heavier, you've probably got more strength. Makes sense to me. Go and kill you. You can see that we're not doing an amazing amount of damage, even after having upgraded our sword a number of times. What is it at? Is it at +3 or 4? +3. Even at +3 it's pretty weak, which just sort of gives you an idea that 3-1 is not for the faint of heart. Or not for the weak of mind. One of the two. Maybe both. But yeah, we need to be sensible as we play. Let's get out of here. Ugh. Yeah, come on, do your attack. No, not twice. You need to run forward now, thank you. No! I meant to attack with the fucking sword, not do that stupid push maneuver. It's not what I wanted. Stop it. Now run. Thank you, dickhead. You made a tall character, so you burn stamina quickly. Fair enough. Hi guys, how are we all going? I backstabbed you off camera. That's a fact. Alrighty. Now come on, do your little attack. There we go, now run forward, and I'll kill you. If you play it right, it's not a problem. But if you play it stupidly, you will die. That is a thing. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to drop the volume back a little bit. Or maybe, no. Let's do that. I'm not sure why, I just had a feeling that the game was a little too loud, but yeah. Thought I'd drop it back just a little. Let's pick up this key. I believe we can't continue in that direction, but we'll pick up whatever's here, because it might be the heavy crossbow. I can't think of where it is, so I have to pick up everything pretty much. I was not told where it was, so I was just told that it was here, in this world somewhere. So, if I end up getting to the Fool's Idol, and I haven't picked it up yet, I will have to backtrack and find it. So, that's a thing. But I will try to pick up everything I can. Silver Coronet. Alright, catch you later, Milkshake. Thanks for joining. Now, towards here, I never look in these cells, I have to say. I don't remember the last time I looked in these cells. There's a shard of mercury stone. And what's in this one here? Because you've got no real reason to go in these cells. Because there's nothing over here. But anyway. It will take me a little bit longer to finish this because I will be going into all of the cells pretty much. So therefore, do expect a bit of a longer World 3-1 journey. If you do have a problem with that, then all I can do is apologize. Of course, once I get the heavy crossbow, I can just stop trying to pick up everything. So the sooner the better. Please help me. Wizard set. Huh. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Go and open this door. So yeah, once we get to 3-2, I'm not going to actually progress through it. We're going to not do that. I can access the Rune Sword and Shield almost immediately. I only need to cross the first bridge and get to that main tower. And then we'll have what we need. So, what we're going to do is we're going to try and drain our souls so that we can use the Nextual Binding without worrying about losing the souls that we have. Okay, we need a key for that. It's probably not too far ahead. I'm going this way so that I can check the cells. What have we got? Fresh spice. Oh, I'm being attacked. Relax, guys. These guys can poison you, so just be aware. They've got naughty daggers. Naughty daggers for naughty people. Alright. Now in here, I'm almost positive the heavy crossbow is not in here, so we're going to just not open any of those Iron Maidens. Because I've actually managed to forget which is the one with a guy in it, somehow. I don't know how I've managed that. But I know that what you get is a Black Thief set or something like that. Alright, come on. Run inside. Of course, for those of you who have played Dark Souls 3, which is most of you, this is very similar to the Irithyll dungeon area. Which was one of the first things that I noticed about the Irithyll dungeon. I mean, of course, there are so many things about Dark Souls 3 that harken back to Demon Souls. That was, you know, that was one of the unique experiences that I had with Dark Souls 3. Most people who played Dark Souls 3 either played it as their first Souls game, or had only played Dark Souls 2 when they played it. But in my case, when I went through Dark Souls 3, it was just constantly a situation where I was going, oh wow, that's like something from Demon Souls, or that's exactly from Demon Souls, they've lifted that straight from Demon Souls, you know, things like that. Just constantly that. Can I kill you? Yes. Maybe we'll try and mash them to death in full, instead of taking it slower. I suppose it depends on how quickly we can engage them. If we take too long, then I suppose we'll have to let them attack and all of that business. We'll see how things go. No, 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 no. No, you don't. Okay, this is dangerous. Can we do it? We were able to kill him, but we did get hit. So, yeah, that's annoying. Let's go and pick up this item, and I think there's a drop-off just ahead of it. Yeah, there is. It's always good to make sure you don't fall down those. Most of them will just take you down to a different level, and then you'll just be a little bit confused as to where you are, but then some of them do just drop you to your death. So, can be a problem. Of course, there is a vendor over there, but I don't think she sells me a heavy crossbow. In fact, based on the wiki, it doesn't seem that I can purchase them anywhere. Is that right? I don't know. Because it only told me that I could pick it up in World 3.1. It didn't say that I could get it anywhere else, so maybe this is the only place to get it. What I'm going to do is open all of these. I don't mind. So I think the one that's facing away, which is this one here, that contains the bad guy, I'm pretty positive. Or maybe it's the one that's apart from the rest. Shit. Is it the one that's apart from the rest or the one that's facing away? Shit. Let's assume that it's the one. Am I going to trust my gut instinct? Or rather, not my gut instinct, but my first feeling. I obviously fucked that up. So I was right that it was the one that was apart from the rest. That's annoying. So we'll go and have a Soldier's Lotus, just to take care of that poison. And then that's done. Ring of Magical Sharpness, there you go. That's a pretty good ring. But only if you're running a magic build, that is. Alright. Continuing on, still haven't picked up the heavy crossbow, annoyingly enough. Maybe this... Oh, this is it, isn't it? No. Where is it? I had a feeling that that was it for some reason. Maybe it's on the bridge. I don't know. Can't open your cell, sorry guy. Mr. Frake. Anyway. So, key on the wall. Continuing straight ahead. I think it might be on the bridge. We'll see. What I will be doing is actually exploring this area, which I often don't do. This area and the one down there. Oh, there it is. Awesome. So let's go and equip that now. Heavy crossbow. We aren't strong enough to wield it. Didn't even consider that. So 16 strength is what we need. And we're also too frickin' heavy, as you can tell. So we do need to increase our strength and our endurance before we can use that. That is for sure. I'm probably not going to use the Ring of Great Strength. In fact, you know what? I can just go through this area as normal now because I don't have to worry about trying to find that heavy crossbow, which is good. Now we can just focus on finishing this place. And once we kill the Fool's Idol, I will go ahead and level up immediately. Just because what I need is still fresh in my mind. So we're going to get strength to 16, so that's 2 points. And then endurance, we'll put the rest of the points in endurance, I think. So... wait for them to shoot. Then we'll go get some Stones of Ephemeral Eyes. There are 2 of them that we can get. I think. No, this is just 1, I think. The other one's on the bridge, but we can't get it quite yet. I hate dropping in this game, I really do. If you walk too fast off there, you're dead. That's just how it is. But anyway. Climb up here. Now that we've got that special key, we can continue. Or was it the Warden's key? Whatever it is. I don't know. Long story short, that key was important. So now that we've gone and grabbed that, we can backtrack just a little bit. And now we're pretty much at the boss. We just need to take the journey there. And we'll be able to fight the boss, yes. And we'll need to kill that stupid thing that heals her as well. Use Crescent Moon. I don't have the Cling Ring equipped because I don't need it. I was thinking of equipping it when I equipped my Thief's Ring before, but I was already alive, so it wasn't necessary. See, I'm not sure what goes on here where the enemy seems to attack nothing. It's not the first time I've seen this. This has been happening in a lot of the recordings that I've done so far, or rather in a lot of the builds that I've been doing so far in this series. For some reason, these Cthulhus are attacking nothing, and I don't really understand it. What's going on with you? Can you just die? Thank you. I'm thinking maybe they do it to destroy whatever is in their path. Because they're probably trying to walk somewhere and stuff's in their way, so they just do that attack. Maybe they've always done that and I only sometimes notice it. That could be how it works. But anyway. Is the game too dark? I mean, it does look pretty dark, doesn't it? But anyway. It's probably fine. Because I think last time I was recording I made some changes to it, so... yeah, anyway. So let's go turn off this thing and pick up a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes and the Clever Rat's Ring. As well as whatever else happened to be on this bridge, which I haven't internalized. Storied Soldier Soul, I think that was. Clever Rat's Ring. So it's souls and those 2 things I mentioned. Good to know. And here's the stone. I think I said ephemeral eyes again. Just as I was saying that I was in the habit of saying ephemeral now, I went back to my old ways. And I should be ashamed of myself. Not really. I don't know if I'm getting used to the heat or what, but I don't feel very uncomfortable at the moment with the heat. It seems to be fine. I don't know, maybe it's stopped rising for one reason or another. It will rise, definitely, but maybe it's just stopped for now. Not looking forward to it, that's for sure. The plan is not to go outside today, or at least not until the evening when it starts to cool down. Anyway. Let's go and kill our friend up here. He's not actually our friend, obviously. 'Tis sarcasm. Now we can go rescue Sage Frake, should we wish to do that. Which I don't really wish to do, but it will be necessary for us to do that when we are doing Mephistopheles' quests, which we will most certainly be doing because we need colourless demon souls in this build. Quite a lot of them. So, yeah. Let's go and hopefully not die. I can definitely kill myself doing this as well. I've done it before. Alright, where's the woman? I like to drop on top of her, but obviously I didn't manage that this time. I might have my shield out. You are so annoying. I want to backstab her. She's so annoying. Look at her. She's given me the plague. That's alright. I have a Widow's Lotus. They gave me one because they were nice. Alright, let's get you in a stun lock. I don't have that much stamina. Oh shit. Yeah, if you go too far away from her, she disappears. There we go. So again, the plague isn't a huge problem. We'll just have to waste a little bit. Oh my god, that does a lot of damage. Did you see that? Holy shit, that's terrible. That's really bad. I was almost killed by the plague at that moment. Look at how much my healing efficacy has gone down. Jesus Christ. Okay, we cannot let her hit us with any more bolts. That's terrible. Now, as you can see, if we're not well leveled for this area, this woman is a difficulty. She really is, and it's very hard to parry daggers, so I'm not going to attempt that. Sadly, I do not have a weapon that can bleed her. Shit! God damn it, don't you pull out your crossbow. She doesn't seem to realise that her crossbow is what will kill me, because it just does so much damage. I mean, she doesn't realise anything because she's an AI, but the point is that I'm at risk of death. Come on, get her. There we go. Now let's Widow's Lotus now. Now. There we go. Okay, well that was a bit of a confrontation. Now I can actually use my Half Moon Grass to full effect. Jeez, that was rough. That's the first time I've fought her in a very long time at that level. I'm at soul level what? 18 with a +3 sword. It's not very impressive, needless to say. Let's see what we can do with this woman. We're going to kill these guys because they get in our way. It's more important than ever for us to do this because we are not very high leveled right now. We're not doing that much damage either, so this fight will take a little bit longer to complete. So, it's going to take that extra effort to get these guys out of our way. Jesus, what are you doing? Stop. Are you going to attack me? No. Fortunately not. Alright, there's still one hanging around, but I'm going to take this opportunity to attack her instead. Don't you start disappearing. Alright. Okay, heal now. And attack this guy. So we're not doing a super low amount of damage. There's a circle just in a different spot, so that's why I went here. Could have easily been in the path that we were going to take to get to her, but I went a different way. Oh, she's right here. That's very convenient. It's rare that that happens, when she appears like right where you want to attack her. Awesome. Getting pretty lucky in this fight, I have to say. Get your stamina back and kill her. There we go. Well, that was a fairly easy Fool's Idol fight. Okay. May as well pick up the baby's nail just for fun. And then walk up to the altar. Come on. There we go. Now, it might be refreshing for you guys as viewers to actually be able to read what the hell's going on, because usually I'm on the Japanese version. Well, not usually, but I've been doing the Japanese version quite often, and I would guess that most of you can't read that, so... okay. As I said, let's go and level up first. Oh dear. Just making sure that the lighting is alright still. It seems fine. I like it. Alrighty. So we can consume lots of souls here. We're going to be rolling in souls. In reality.
Alright, let's go consume all of these quickly. I'm basically standing on top of this woman. Well, she was the one who decided to sit on the ground, so I can't really control it. I don't know if I want to end it yet. We'll see. Because I did say that I was going to end this once I got the Rune Sword and Shield, which is going to happen fairly soon. Okay, I have a shitload of souls. This is a lot. 31,000 is a lot. You can't see it, but I have 31,000. And now you can see it. That's a lot for this point in the game. So, strength is 16. Endurance to 15, I guess. Or we want to take you to 20. I do not have a dexterity requirement, do I? No, there is no dexterity requirement. What about for the heavy crossbow? It's only a strength requirement, and that's 16. Okay. So, let's just take you to 17, and I'll put the rest in here. Okay. That's fine. So, we should be able to use the heavy crossbow. We're not too heavy, fortunately. So, there we go. Let's equip some bolts. We've only got 9 black bolts. Now, I'm pretty sure black bolts are some of the best in the game. But again, we don't have many of them, so... It's been a long time since I've used a crossbow, I have to say. But it feels right for this build. I don't know. You do occasionally see double crossbow builds, just for fun. I'll probably do one of those. Yeah, the Ostrava run's going pretty good, Jafada. Thanks for joining. I will very soon, as in within the next 2 minutes, be getting the Rune Sword and Shield from a drop in World 3.2. And so, yeah, it will well and truly be the Ostrava build at that point. And I'm glad that I don't have to go so far as taking on World 1.4 and killing his Black Phantom to get it. Because that would be really annoying. God, penetrating sword build. I really want to do a penetrating sword build, but I'm so frustrated by how bad the fucking weapon is that it will probably be a while until I actually get around to doing that. But anyway. Latria's tougher than Stonefang on that character. I can imagine. But anyway. Let's go and try to get this Rune Sword and Shield. Now, it requires a somewhat specific drop, but we should be alright. It's not difficult. It's just specific. So, if you're a fucking idiot and you drop stupidly, then yes, you will have a problem. Yeah, the range of the penetrating sword is really good, and then you've also got the fact that it looks amazing. I love the look of the sword. And again, the fact that it's so long and has that great range, but god, it sucks. Like, why do they have to make it such a shitty weapon? As you can see, I'm so underleveled for this place, but again, I do not have any intention of going through here. I will be a lot stronger when I actually have the Rune Sword. Now, the Rune Sword is not a good weapon by any stretch of the imagination, but at this point in the game, it's pretty good, and it's a damn sight better than this fucking thing, which is doing 116 damage at the moment. The Rune Sword, I think, is going to do in excess of 250 damage for me. But anyway, let's see if we can go and get this freaking thing. Now, the problem is here, the idea that the dropping mechanics in this game are stupid. That's the real problem here. I think we made it. Yes, good. And here is our prize, the Rune Sword and Rune Shield. Let's go and equip this, shall we? Rune Sword, Rune Shield. We are now Ostrava of Boletaria, ladies and gentlemen. Look at us. And maybe we can show his funny face as well. I don't know if you can see it, but he's got like white eyes and they're really creepy. Oh my god, look at that. That's like disturbing. Anyway. I'm not saying that this is how he looks, but this is probably how he looks. Blonde hair, sort of a goofy haircut, and creepy eyes. Ooh. Hello, my children. That's probably not what he says, but the point is that that's really disturbing, and we'll put his helmet back on, I think. Right. Oh, right. So, penetrating sword +5 and sticky white stuff. Just to be stupid, but... Yeah, I don't know why they decided to call it sticky white stuff. That's probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but... Anyway. If it's easier to use the neck shield binding, I will do that. Because I don't have many souls right now, but we'll see. It's really cool using this. I mean, you have to understand, I have not used the rune sword and shield in like 10 years, so... It's pretty cool. We are now well and truly doing an Ostrava of Boletaria build. And of course the big thing about these weapons is that they look so nice. I love the design. And you would only really use them if you were in a situation like me right now doing a specific build for them. Outside of that, they're just not worthwhile. Which is a shame, but yeah. Magic splooge. That would be better. Or like wax, because I think that's what it is. I don't have sticky white stuff to refer to, but I think it's a melting candle. I think that's what it is. So calling it sticky white stuff is just... yeah. Maybe it's not a melting candle. Maybe I've always misunderstood that symbol. I don't know. But yeah. Weird. Fresh spice. Hello. We're gonna kill you, by the way. Oh, we've already attacked him before. Actually not doing that much damage. What are we doing? 172. Maybe I'm confused. I thought it did set 200 magic damage. It's doing 140, so maybe it does 200 on the max level up. Probably. Max upgrade, whatever you want to say. Am I going the right way? I think so. Yeah, there's the archstone up there. Okay, so what I'll probably do is just continue. And you know what I'll do? I'll go and get some colorless demon souls. What do I have access to? So I've got the one from the talisman. Okay. I don't have access to the gold mask one because I would be required to go through this area first, but I think I am a little bit under-leveled. So we'll hold off on that. We'll just level up the rune sword with a single colorless demon soul, which we will get from World 4-1 by trading the talisman. So let's go do that. Well, getting the dark silver shield from 5 is a bit of a task, unless you've already reached that point. It's not like, yeah, hold on, BRB, I'm just going to get the dark silver shield. You need to complete pretty much the entirety of the archstone to do that. But anyway. Shield is doing reasonably well. There we go. God, this looks cool. I just love the look of these. And I also love that it's matching my half moon grass right now. I love it when a weapon has that particular attack. That will make it perfectly fine for World 2 as well, because it's a piercing attack. I'm actually pretty impressed with the guard break reduction of this shield, all things considered, and it will only get better as I upgrade it. No, it's not a matter of difficulty, I just mean the time allocation. World 5 is pretty simple. I mean, 5-2 can be a problem if you're playing stupidly, like me, oftentimes, but in terms of what you're actually required to do, 5-2 is fairly easy to get through. Unless you choose not to use the Thieves' Ring, then it will be a little harder. Probably considerably harder. So there's the Talisman of God. I'll just call it the Talisman because that's what they went with for the rest of the Souls games, just calling it the Talisman. Maybe it's too religious to say God, I don't know. Umbasa. Just avoid this thing. But yeah, feeling pretty good about this build at the moment. It's something different to what I usually do, so it's pretty much doing it for me. Also don't mind the range of this weapon. It's got, like, it's not super long. It's not like a really long sword, but there's something about that, like that pointy tip. It's good. It gives it a little bit more reach. Did you just say that a sword has a pointy tip, Doomlink? What do you mean? Swords don't have pointy tips. What a strange observation to make. No, of course it has a pointy tip. All swords have pointy tips. No matter what. In very occasion, I mean, unless you've got the Dragon Bone Smasher, then it's not a pointy tip, but regardless. The Dragon Bone Smasher is not actually a practical weapon because it's too heavy for human beings to use, so. It's a freaking hammer, not a sword. Because it's a blunt, heavy weapon that you just strike people with. Imagine getting hit on the head with a fucking Dragon Bone Smasher. That would be terrible.
You scary kid.
3/4 of the Burger King armor set. Good to know. Okay, what am I doing? So I'm dropping the talisman. Let's do that.
Sparkly.
Damn it! Sometimes, because I'm always skipping Sparkly's text, so I sometimes accidentally pick up the frickin' item again. It's really annoying. Alrighty. Already up. I don't want to look at Skivir's stupid face. It's like, alright. Oh no, don't tell me I have to sit through this again. This is terrible. Okay, so I'm coming from having played a lot of the other versions of Demon's Souls. So I play the Japanese version, the Chinese English version, the European version. All of them allow me to immediately enter the game without having to sit through this stupid shit, right? It should have already been established that I'm playing solo. Why do I have to sit here for 30 seconds waiting for this to fucking load? The Atlus version is stupid for this. And I will not be playing it very often because of this. I should have already started in offline mode. And yet it wants to waste time trying to connect to servers that no longer exist. Like, seriously. It's so annoying. In all the other versions, it just immediately says, oh, there are no servers to connect to, and then you're done. But for some reason, the Atlus version wants to be stupid about it. Anyway, it's very frustrating. It's not like it's a long time to wait, it's just that if all the other games don't do that, then why does this one have to? Makes no sense. Just die, stupid lizard. Not that I need any Dark Moonstone, but whatever. That was a pretty lucky lizard, that one. Gave me several chunks, didn't it? What did it give me? No, just one chunk and 3 shards. That's pretty good for a level 1 frickin' lizard, I have to say. I'm gonna kill you because I'm feeling pretty confident in my set at the moment. Not doing much damage, but hey. Oof. No, that was a bad idea. Okay, he's not doing too much damage because I am using the Fluted Knight set. Pretty good defense. Alrighty. The Atlus version used to have the servers are shut down message. Why the hell would they get rid of that? Was it faster when they had that message? Because the amount of time it currently takes to try and connect to servers that don't exist is just not okay. So, yeah. I'm definitely not going to be playing the Atlus version very much. I mean, I'll play it a bit, but just so that I can have more character slots, really. That's the reason why I would do it, but yeah, it's fucking annoying. Anyway. Now we can go and, oh no, we can't immediately upgrade this weapon because we haven't gone through 3.1 yet, so, not 3.1, 2.1, we've gone through 3.1. So yeah, if we complete 3.1, we'll be able to access Ed. Not necessarily complete it, but go through most of it. Point is, I think we're going to do that now. Yeah, we've got time to do that, why the hell not?
You have a...
I do have a heart of gold, you're quite right about that. Let's take on World 2.1, Stonefang Tunnel. Now, I should have bought some bolts or something, but that's alright. Do have the heavy crossbow with 9 black bolts. Not entirely impressive, but hey. I'll be back in just a moment. It'll be like 10 seconds. And I have returned. Hello, hello. Is it getting darker? Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, that's so weird. It's supposed to be a super hot day today, and it is, and it will be, but the sun is not very bright, which is fine. It's better than super bright and turning me into some super yellow thing, but anyway. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go and go through the motions of completing World 2-1. Like stuttering on the number 2. Can't speak, apparently. Alright. So we'll start off by getting a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, I suppose. I usually don't do this, but I'm in the mood today for some reason. Let's do it. So generally what I do is I take the dodgy maneuver and jump over to this one. It's faster, but more risky. Unnecessarily falling in this game is kind of a good way to die, but that's alright. This is also where the primeval demon appears. We will be getting him to appear most certainly. Can you get on the fucking thing? Seriously? Is it that hard, mate? I was trying to edge onto it so that I didn't walk straight off again, but obviously I was being too careful. I wonder what that weird abandoned tower is. It's interesting, I only noted... That's a really cool shot. You know, if that can be the shot that I use for the thumbnail of the VOD, that would be really cool. That was very picturesque. Fuck, I have to do that. That would look so cool. The problem is, I probably won't remember to do that. That's really frustrating. Oh well. I'll try to keep it in mind. See what we can do. Oh, actually, because this thing's dealing magic damage, we don't have to pierce them. That makes sense, because this thing is doing probably more magic damage than it is physical damage, so we can just attack them as normal. Because, of course, on a physical level, it's better to pierce them, but we can just attack them like this. Awesome. Well, this is going to be a very quick run through. Not happy with the damage. Well, we can always upgrade this thing. I haven't yet upgraded it, so... This is a guy with a bag. He'll give us lots of stuff that we can use to upgrade our heavy crossbow. We don't need to use those materials for anything except the crossbow at this point, so that's a good thing. Can you just die? Thank you. The fat official tried to hit us there, but he failed. Which is good. Hello, hello. Hello. Die. Well, he's not quite dying just yet, but... So when did you get the penetrating sword, Jafada? I'm assuming that you're doing a New Game Plus run. So, a chunk of hardstone. I didn't realise we got a chunk of hardstone already in this area. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, you shouldn't be able to get the penetrating sword before taking on this area, because the penetrating sword can only be accessed after World 1-3. Unless you completed a different archstone. Okay, so that's how you would have done it. Usually I complete World 2 to access World 1-3 because it's the easiest archstone to complete, but I guess if you opt to do a different one, then that makes sense. So it is completely possible to have the penetrating sword to go through here. It's just not something I would personally do. But I guess it's good to change things up from time to time. Oh dear. Oh right, someone helps you out on the private servers to get the penetrating sword. Makes sense. I haven't tried the private servers just yet. I'm not really desperate to play online with people in this game. I lost interest in playing Souls games online with people back in 2013 when I had seriously well and truly had it with the PvP community of Dark Souls. So, yeah, that's the thing. The reason why I had it with the PvP community of Dark Souls was because I was just so sick of the way that people were playing it. And it's not like they were wrong for doing this, but basically how you did PvP in that game oftentimes was, you know, be the biggest cockhead and win. It wasn't fun anymore, I was just sick of it, and yeah. Just situations where some asshole would turn up with his Zweihander and Mask of the Mother and just spam you to death, and then, yeah, that kind of garbage was just annoying. Because obviously at that point, and it wasn't even a scenario where you would invade the person and they were just trying to like clear the area. At that point, they have a free ticket to do whatever the fuck they want to kill you, because you're obviously encroaching on their gameplay experience by, you know, trying to kill them while they're just trying to finish the game. But this wasn't that situation, and it's usually not that situation. It's people who have very uncreative sets that are basically designed to just win, and they are intentionally standing there waiting to get invaded. Like, that was really bothersome to me. But anyway, and then of course the forest gankers as well, they used to piss me off. I mean, of course you don't have to engage in that crap, but that really pissed me off all the time. Like, imagine ganking. Like, anyway. Don't know why I'm focusing on this now, but yeah. I lost a lot of interest in Souls PvP at that point. I used to PvP back in the day in Demon Souls in World 4.1. This is why I got the Atlus version, actually. Because it was a much more active community in the Atlus version. Because after I got the European version in 2010, wasn't the first version of the game that I had, but it was the first one that I had in official in English, as opposed to, well, I guess the Chinese English version was official, but as in the first English version that came after the Atlus version. That was the European version, and that was dead from day one, pretty much. The servers just, I mean, there were some people playing at first, but then, wow, it became as dead can be, and it was sad. But anyway. And that's how it went. Everybody die, please. Even though you're not doing anything to really deserve it, the fact that you exist is enough to have you deserve to be killed. I can't remember what this is. I think this is just a soul. Yeah. Level 20 PvP in Demon Souls. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Most of the PvP that I engaged in was kind of typical second chance casting PvP in 4.1 with like Cursed Blade and stuff like that. People fast rolling with Dragon Bone Smasher and doing things like that. I was trying to keep it a little bit more interesting. I was running Blue Blood Blade and things like that, but yeah. So in other words, a luck build. So that was interesting. Alrighty. So I can't level this up with him now because I need to give him the Red Hot Demon Soul. I'm an idiot. So that's annoying. I need to kill the Flame Lurker, but that's alright. We'll just do that. Will I cheese the Flame Lurker with a spell? Maybe. We'll see. If it seems like it's necessary, I probably will do that. Because I don't think my sword here is doing too well in terms of dealing damage, so I'll probably cheese the Flame Lurker. Unless I cheese him with the sword, I could do that as well, but it's easier to do it with ranged magic. We'll see. Ow. I always fall for that. Well, not always, but occasionally I do. I shouldn't. it's like the most obvious, well, to me anyway, it's the most obvious ambush in the entire series because I've seen it so many times, but it still manages to catch me. Yeah, that's right. Well, what you're describing, Jafada, is pretty much what I was dealing with in the old PvP community. I didn't mind it, it was good fun. But the problem was most of the people that I was playing with were from the US because it was the US servers, and those were, again, the most active servers. I actually fucked that up. Well, that's alright. But yeah, so the problem was, with me being in Australia, my ping was always kind of shit with them, so PvP was not amazing. So yeah. That was kind of a problem, but I had fun, regardless. We had a Skype group, actually. And yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still playing on the private servers, you know. Because that was the crazy thing about the Demon Souls players. They were nuts. They just kept going, right up until the end of the servers. Because I believe the servers were supposed to shut down in, like, 2012, 2013, something like that. But because of the PvP community that remained, the servers were left until 2018, I believe it was, which is crazy. So, yeah, almost 10 years the servers were kept up for a very small number of people, relatively speaking. Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Brant weapons at Soul Level 20. Terrible. Oh, this is a dangerous situation that I walked into stupidly. The fire lizards can be a problem, but yeah. So yeah, due to internet-related issues, I probably wouldn't be doing any PvP anyway, but, like, as in now, but, yeah. Where's that other dog? Or did he just run so fast that he ended up over here and I didn't even notice it? I thought it was a different dog, but maybe it was the same one. That's kind of crazy. Ed's Grindstone. You know, it's strange. I very, very rarely feel the need to use Ed's Grindstones. I don't know. But I think it will be necessary because this shield has extremely low durability. So I'd say there's a fair chance I'll be making use of Ed's Grindstones for the shield. Let's actually check to see how its durability is going. Oh, it's 79 out of 80, that's alright. We haven't smashed it too hard yet. There we go. Bag. I'm going to need to put away these upgrade materials soon. Oh. Scraping spear, I remember that. Man, the days of scraping spear invaders. I was one of those people. One of those absolute assholes who would just invade and just death cloud fucking scraping spear, like, oh, I was a real asshole. Not in PvP, like, we're talking, I mean, technically it is PvP, but not organized PvP, like, just invasions and just ruining people's fucking lives. It was terrible, but it was fun. And I will always be of the opinion, and this is probably because, you know, I have romantic memories of it, but the Demon Souls invasion experience will always be better than any of the other Souls invasion experiences. It was just crazy. The experience of being invaded and of invading was better in this game than any of the other ones. And again, that might just be something that I've decided. Or it might actually be true. But, yeah, scraping spear was good fun. Let's head on up to the armor spider. I guess we'll kill the scale miner who comes down here. Tries to drop a rock on our head, but actually has terrible fucking timing. You stupid asshole. And I love how he goes to start running forwards when I'm already standing directly in front of him, and then he just dies, you know. Doesn't get a chance to react, just goes to run forward. He's a bit slow, you know. Not much you can do about him. Some people, well, not some people, but some enemies that you fight can be a little dumb. But anyway. Time for the armor spider. We are 2 hours in. And I think after the armor spider I will wrap things up. Probably eat something because I'm a little hungry. Alrighty. Armor spider time. So, do your thing. I'm probably just going to go two-handed. That was a bad idea on my part. I did get a hit in though. God. Okay, that's actually shield. That's some decent damage. Pretty happy with that. Do some strong attacks. There we go. Oh yeah. Some of the messages I've received were like not even of this planet. I love it when people say that you're hacking or something. Alright. Damn it, got hit with that. Well, I should be fine. I could let it hit me and then burn it, but... And then this should kill him. There we go. That's a dead armor spider. The demon was destroyed. Yes, indeed. Alrighty. Let's go and head over to here. Of course, I don't really need spider stone, but why not? Or maybe... No, I don't want spider stone, not with this heavy crossbow. It's not going to help me at all. That's pretty rude. Soul level 20 Dragon Bone Smasher with Curse Weapon and Second Chance. That's like twinking level right there. Okay. So, let's put this colourless Demon Soul away. I don't even want to run the risk of accidentally consuming it for some stupid reason. I mean, I don't think I'm that stupid, but I might be, so let's just avoid that possibility, shall we? Go and consume some of these souls. Well, not some of, all of them, preferably. And then, once we have leveled up with all of our souls, we will at that point finish up. So I don't really need to do super long live streams, and besides, I'm a little bit hungry, so yeah. My controller's probably about to die soon anyway, because you did see it pop up on the screen before saying it was low. Hard Demon Soul. Don't need that for anything. Alrighty. Let's go level up. I want to get you to 20, shall we? And then Vitality. I do need to put lots of points into Strength to pretty much get the maximum amount of damage I can out of my Rune Sword, but for now I just want to focus on Vitality and Endurance until maybe around 20 or 25 in both, and then I'll focus on Strength a little bit. But anyway, in the next video we will be finishing off World 2, upgrading our sword, And then I think we'll take on World 1-3, because I want to access Executioner Marauder's area. I should only need to kill the Penetrator, assuming that I don't die stupidly in that area. Unless I want to play it really safe, and kill myself in the Nexus and Cling Ring it. But, yeah. Executioner Marauder's area will help, because that'll be a free colourless Demon Soul, and then I'll actually be able to demonstrate that on camera for once. And that will be good. We'll go put away all of our stuff here, actually. Okay, I just remembered that I need to do that thumbnail, so we'll do that. I'm glad that I'm remembering that. By the time the video processes, it probably will have slipped my mind, but at least I'm remembering it now. That's better than nothing.
You have a heart.
The private servers let you pick your world tendency. That's kind of weird. Well, anyway, thanks for joining, Jofada, and everyone else who has been in the stream. I will see you guys when I'm next recording Demon Souls, and sit tight for now, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.